Hi, and welcome back for another edition of the Defining Wellness Confab. If you've been following along, you know I'm introducing you to health and wellness experts so that you can go to our library on YouTube when you are searching for the next step on your path to health and wellness and find someone who can help you and really get an understanding of what it is that they do and who they are. Today, we have a great session. And if I haven't introduced myself, I'm Denise O'Malley with You Define Wellness, the founder and the host of these events. But it's my pleasure today to introduce you to someone on a subject that I think a lot of people want to know about. And the subject is what happens in a Reiki session. And the person bringing it to you today is one of the You Define Wellness providers, Michel Barta with Peace Bridge Reiki in Colorado. Thank you very much, Michelle, for being here, and I am turning it over to you.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and to share information about a topic that's near and dear to my heart. I'm a Reiki master teacher here located in Denver, Colorado. I offer in-person and remote Reiki here through my organization called Peace Bridge Reiki. I was first introduced to Reiki 20 years ago, and just last year became a Reiki master teacher. And the reason why this topic is so near and dear to my heart is because almost daily, and this includes clients who come to me, there isn't a clear understanding about what happens in a Reiki session. And so I love demystifying Reiki for people because we have access to this beautiful part of ourselves, which is energy healing. All of us have access to this. And so today, I'd like to share with you what happens in an in-person session and in a remote session. And we'll do a live demonstration with my husband, Dean, who's here with me too. And the scope of this presentation is the time that you make the appointment to the time after you have your session. So if you're interested in information about how does Reiki work, how do I select a Reiki practitioner, etc., I encourage you to visit my website, peacebridgereiki.com. And you can also take a look at some of my blog posts too, which also talk about a variety of topics, including the latest research on Reiki. So with that, I'm going to start with in-person Reiki. In-person Reiki is an opportunity for you to come and experience Reiki in person, just like it means, hands-on with your Reiki master teacher or your Reiki practitioner. When you make an appointment, usually it's done online on a website, or you might make a phone call to a Reiki practitioner or text. Either way, you should receive an appointment confirmation. And oftentimes, you will be required to provide some personal information if it's online. This is the case with my website. I ask for some just high-level personal information, such as your address, your phone number, etc., your email address. And I also ask for a credit card number. That's my preferred method of payment, although some clients pay for cash and check. But it enables us to take care of the credit card up front, and when you come for the session, we don't have to exchange monies per se when we're together. So that's the housekeeping stuff I wanted to just get out of the way. And after you schedule an appointment, usually the Reiki practitioner will either email you or notify you in some way to acknowledge that you have scheduled or requested an appointment. For me, you'll receive an email notification, and I will also, my style is I like to give a phone call, especially if you're a new client. I think it's really important to make that personal connection with you and to, share with you more housekeeping, such as where to find me and parking. And also, I'm very interested in your story. I'm interested in learning about what is your experience with Reiki. What has you reaching out for Reiki right now? And I love to answer any questions you have in that initial conversation. My style is also to be very available to my clients. So, and this may be true for other Reiki practitioners, I'm sure, that if you have any questions that you feel comfortable to reach out and ask, or if you have any epiphanies or discoveries as a result of your Reiki experience, sometimes that happens. So a Reiki practitioner that's available for you to be able to answer questions and connect with you even before or after your session is very special. One other detail before we do the Reiki session is your Reiki practitioner may ask for you to complete a client information form or agreement. And basically, this is just an opportunity for you to share any sensitivities you may have. So sensitivities about smell, touch, it may, if you have other additional information you want to share about the reasons you're reaching out for Reiki, the form might include some of that information too. The agreement also may include some terms and conditions that sort of level set expectations for the session. My information forms are on my website for anyone to read. And you would either complete that form on my website before you come in, or you can do it here on my iPad before we begin the session. So all that housekeeping stuff out of the way, and we've connected, and we've had a conversation, and you've shared with me your intentions for Reiki, why you're here. I've been able to share with you some information about what Reiki is and such. Now I'd like to simulate what to expect in an in-person session. So I'm going to invite my client to please come up on the table and get yourself comfortable. So a Reiki practitioner will oftentimes give Reiki on a massage table or on a massage chair with the head in the face cradle, or the client might be seated in a very comfortable lounge chair. If you're laying on a table, oftentimes the Reiki practitioner will offer a neck roll, and that's just to offer some support behind the neck, the base of the neck. Or if it's more comfortable, she'll provide a pillow. They'll also offer a bolster from up for underneath the knees. You'll be provided with a sheet, a blanket, anything to make yourself comfortable so that you're not too hot or not too cold. How are you feeling?
Great.
Okay, wonderful. So for the purposes of this simulation, I'm not going to have any kind of blanket on Dean at this time, just so you can see where my hand placements are. A Reiki practitioner might also offer an eye pillow, which is just a little pillow that goes over the eyes, as it sounds like. Would you like an eye pillow?
Yes, I love the eye pillow.
Okay, so gently placing the eye pillow on, although it's not required. If you feel like you want to watch the Reiki session entirely, you are welcome to do so. And it's entirely your preference. And so a couple of other things I wanted to share about the in-person session is every Reiki practitioner offers her session a little bit uniquely or differently. We have a lot of similarities, but there may be some unique differences. For example, in my sessions, I like to incorporate sound healing. And so some of the instruments that I like to use in my sessions include Tibetan singing bowls, and so I might, at the beginning of the session, use the singing bowl and work my way around the table. And I like to spend a little bit of time around the head. Here's another Tibetan singing bowl and how this might sound for you. The other tools that I might use in a session include crystals and incense and essential oils. And so in the client information form, it's important to share with your Reiki practitioner, as I mentioned before, any particular sensitivities that you may have. And why do Reiki practitioners use these different tools per se in their sessions? For me personally, it just magnifies the Reiki. It helps the patient or the client get to that place of centeredness and calm more quickly. I just find that they really enjoy it. And so I enjoy it as well. So I like to incorporate these things as part of my Reiki. So in a Reiki session, the Reiki practitioner's hands are placed on the client in non-intrusive parts of the body. They're usually placed where the chakras are located, and I'll show you where those are. It would be here at the head, and the hands are generally either very gently on the client or a little bit further out. So this is the crown chakra. Here's third eye. I like to place my hands here and put them behind the head, throat, heart, solar plexus, sacral, and root. I might also feel called to place my hands in areas of the body where there might be some discomforts or pains that the client shares with me. I also place my hands on knees and feet. So Reiki practitioners have different hand placements, but generally the chakras are the areas where you'll oftentimes feel, they'll have their hands consistently placed. And generally spending anywhere from 3 to 10 minutes in a particular chakra area. The other characteristic you might experience in a Reiki session is the Reiki practitioner might also be playing music in the background, or it may be very quiet, or the window might be open and you'll be hearing the sounds from the outside. But every Reiki practitioner is very interested in your comfort. So if you have any preferences for any of these things, or if anything ever feels uncomfortable, please let your Reiki practitioner know. Generally the sessions, well actually all sessions I'm familiar with have been very pleasing, very pleasant and comfortable, and stress reducing. But that said, Reiki practitioners are not mind readers. So please let us know if you need to shift around a little bit, or like that. The other unique characteristic I wanted to share with you about a Reiki session is some practitioners talk during a Reiki session. They may share with you impressions that they receive during the session, and they may be talking through the session. Others don't speak at all. In my approach, I don't talk in the Reiki session. My feeling is I want this to be very much your internal experience. And so we have a time after the session to share some impressions and questions at that time. So all that said, I think we've covered almost all the aspects of in-person Reiki. There's one more thing I just remembered I wanted to share with you, which is some Reiki practitioners may incorporate angel cards. And so basically this is a deck of cards. There's so many different versions out there, but they may incorporate these as part of their practice as well. And you basically choose a card that you feel drawn to, and it may have a special message for you that may relate to your Reiki session. And on that note, I mentioned to you earlier that in an initial conversation with you, I'm interested in learning about your intentions for Reiki. So when we have our Reiki session together, I like to have a little bit of time before and after the session. Well, first on the front end to hear your intentions for the Reiki session. And then at the end of the Reiki session to hear what did you experience. And so I think I've covered everything for the in-person Reiki now. So thank you for your patience, and thank you, Dean, for being my client. Good job.
So Michelle, so while you're walking around, a question I have for you is, because we're talking about everybody has energy within them, is Reiki something that anyone can learn?
Yes, absolutely. It is, and everyone has access to Reiki. So people can receive an attunement from a Reiki master teacher, and typically there's 3 levels of Reiki: Reiki level 1, 2, and 3. And beginning in Reiki level 1, that attunement, that awakening of the Reiki from within occurs, and then the student becomes a practitioner. and he or she can place her own hands on herself for Reiki healing, and if he or she decides, can place their hands on someone else to give Reiki.
Awesome. Awesome. So we're going to be getting close to our little dinger going off here pretty
Okay.
soon. You wanted to cover remote Reiki. I'm very interested in that because we do have people watching these videos from all over the place.
Wonderful. Yep. So remote Reiki is similar to in-person Reiki in that same appointment setting, client information form. I like to make an initial phone call to a new client. And that initial call is especially important for the remote Reiki sessions because it also allows me the opportunity to share the process for remote Reiki. So to clarify, remote Reiki is the same as distance Reiki. And all that means is that I am here in Denver or Boulder, and the client is anywhere in the world. And so I invite the client to be in a quiet place, to turn off technology, turn off the phone, have this quiet time. The sessions are also 60, 75, or 90 minutes in length. And the way that there's our bell. The way that the sessions go is in the client information form, I learned the preferred method of communication from the client, and then we will either speak or have a video call together where they can share with me their intentions for the session. And then I will either text message them or call them or video them before the session to let them know I'm about to begin. And so we do the entire session, and then after the session, we will either get on the phone or a video call and then share impressions with one another. So I have had clients who have received remote Reiki when they're at work, when they're picking up kids from school, etc. But I do encourage clients to take that quietude, take that time out for themselves so they can really tune in and really have this experience of how is this feeling for me? How is Reiki showing up for me in this remote session? And remote sessions are just as powerful as the in-person sessions I have found, and based on the feedbacks from clients.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that little tone was saying, okay, it's time to get towards the end and ask the final question. And that is, what do you want to include in this that we haven't covered so far? Is there anything?
I think just to share that, I see myself as a Reiki practitioner who walks or companions with my clients. So each of us, just as we have access, each of us to Reiki, each of us has that inner wisdom within. And so if you're listening to this presentation and you feel a curiosity or a call to Reiki, I invite you to give it a try. And my hope is that this presentation has welcomed you a little bit more deeply into this exploration. And I welcome you to give me a call, reach out for more information. I would love to connect with you.
Awesome. I want to share a testimonial about Reiki. I've had Reiki now from a number of different practitioners, and every single time it's been different. Even with the same practitioner on multiple times, it's been different every single time. My experience has been different. And in some cases, I've been there just because I was looking for relaxation. And in other cases, it was the day after a car accident that I had. And there's just this peace that you get with it. And it is something that you have to experience. And in some cases, it's been so profound. And other times I've walked away going, okay, that was kind of like getting a nice massage, but we didn't really work on anything in depth. But man, I'm calmer afterwards. So it's one of those things that we just tell people, just experience it, because it really is a wonderful, wonderful feeling. Awesome.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah.
So this is where I get to share with everyone. Michel is a part of the Udefine Wellness network of providers. And now a lot of people don't know who Udefine Wellness is. So we are a network of health and wellness professionals from across the United States, and there are hundreds in our network right now, and we are growing by leaps and bounds. And one of the things about being in our network, as opposed to being just on a provider directory that somebody has put out there, is that we've actually vetted our people. We've done a criminal background investigation. We've looked at their disciplinary actions and stipulations on their licenses if they have any. We're making sure they're a legal business. We're checking their reputation online. So while you need to do your own due diligence in selecting health and wellness professionals and those who are going to give you care, you can rest assured knowing that we have also looked at them, but do your own as well. And with this network of providers, it allows us to do things like create an employee benefit program for the workplace so that employees can access services like Reiki, because you're not going to get it on your medical insurance plan. We are also able to come together with a education catalog of classes that our health and wellness professionals in our network have created. They create them, they conduct them, these educational classes. They're great for lunch and learns, or if you're looking for a wellness education speaker, we've got them all over the world that you can take advantage of. And we also, with this Defining Wellness Confab, we're launching a product to help individuals, retirees, self-employed, those who are not covered under the employee benefit plan, be able to access services like Michelle's with a discount. So it's already been negotiated on your behalf. You just present the card to one of the providers who accepts it within our network, and you can receive that discount no matter how many times you come. And you can share it with your family members and your next door neighbor and whoever you want to, whoever presents it can use it. And it's a one-time fee for this card, no expiration date on it. And right now it's available at half price at $49.50. And you can just go to our website at youdefinewellness.com to learn more about all of these. And while you're there, please go over and check the page for the Holistic Healing Workplace Crisis Support Team. We know that when crisis hits at the workplace, that it's a mind-blowing experience. The employers don't know what to do, and so they're told by people, the experts, to bring in counselors and the psychotherapists, and that's great. But emotional trauma and physical trauma, if left untouched and not handled at the time, will manifest down the road, days, weeks, months, and years down the road into other symptoms. And so we can bring in practitioners from our network to help. And we've done it before, and we're doing it right now as well. So we'll bring in the psychotherapists and the counselors, but also the massage therapists, the Reiki practitioners, acupuncturists, you name it, we can bring it in. And we are spinning this section off, this service off, community service, as a nonprofit organization. And we are looking for support to help us fund this and get it going, because our goal is to be able to offer these services for free within the community. But in order to do that, we need to have funding. And so if you are so inclined and helping us get this off the ground, we just encourage you to go to paypal.me/youdefinewellness and make a donation of any amount that you wish. And finally, this is how you get in touch with Michelle. Go to her website, peacebridgereiki.com, or give her a phone call and see if whether or not this is someone that you're resonating with. Get your questions answered and see if you can book a session with her. And she already explained you can do that on her website as well. So thank you for doing this today. This really was fantastic to be able to walk through the experience, because so many people will not do something they haven't done before because they're a little afraid that they don't know what the experience is going to be like. And I think you really did a great job of showing the upfront process is kind of like going to any other medical practitioner that you've ever seen. But when you get in there and on the table, it's not scary. It's just a very simple and wonderful and beautiful process. So thank you very much for sharing that with us.
My pleasure. It's been great to be here.
Awesome. And for those who are watching this as a recording, no matter where you found the recording, we encourage you to go over to YouTube, put You Define Wellness in the search bar. You will find an entire library of health and wellness topics, the experts, interviews, subject matters that we have put together over the past couple of years, including the 48 sessions that we're doing within the Defining Wellness Confab. So we go over there, and while you're there, follow us on YouTube so that you can get notifications of when new ones come up. So again, thank you. I appreciate you very much, and I appreciate those who are live with us and those who are watching the recording. Have a great day.
Thank you.